What is up, everybody? X here, and today got some Bullpup assault rifle gameplay for you guys on Piledriver TDM. And I just want to say real quick, if my voice sounds pretty weird, it's because I'm not feeling well at all. So I've been hacking up a whole bunch of stuff, and I'm pretty sure no one wants to hear that. So that's all I'm going to say about it. But yeah, I bought the Bullpup assault rifle for a day to just try it out, and I don't know what I think about it. I mean, on the one hand, it's fairly strong, I have to say. Like, it does kill people fairly fast. Overall, it's a pretty half decent gun. But I mean, the recoil on it is just insane. I mean, I'm sure you guys know, but it just like pulls up into the left so hard, and then it kind of like evens out after about, I think it's about 8 shots. It kind of evens out into a nice little pattern. But I mean, those first like 8 shots, it's like up and to the left, like straight after the first shot. And I think I do some single firing in the gameplay, so you'll see how hard it actually goes up to the left. But pretty much, I mean, keeping that under control it's so insane to do. I mean, seriously, it's pretty difficult to get the hang of it. I mean, this is, I think, my 3rd or 4th game I played with it, and I have it modded for range. So, I mean, not range, for damage. So I think it's doing, I think, 53 damage right now, so it does kill people fairly fast. I was playing around with it with 47 damage, and that wasn't going so well, to put it lightly. So I bumped up the damage, and it seems to be working a bit well, but the recoil on it, I think it's the value for the recoil is, I think, 5.43 or 5.6, something like that. So it is a fairly hefty recoil, but the thing about it is, if you're hip firing and you pull down into the right, you can hip fire pretty accurately for a decent amount of time. Like, just holding it down, spraying it, you'll see within the game that I do that quite a bit. Like right there, it's fairly accurate when you hip fire, and it kind of leads me to believe this is definitely not a mid-range weapon. Where it shines is pretty much just out of close range. So out of, say, about like, I don't know, about 7 meters or so is pretty much the primary range for using the Bullpup assault rifle, or the Bullpup, is it the Bullpup assault rifle or Bullpup Filato? I forget its name. But if you can just like manage those first few shots, the thing can be fairly accurate. I mean, keeping it dead center is pretty hard to do, but for the most part, it's not that it sprays a lot. The cone of fire is, I mean, the way the bullets go, they don't spray off a lot, so where the gun is pointing, it is accurate, but there is a lot of recoil to kind of like counteract that. So while the shots are accurate, the recoil really does try and push it out of the way. So managing the recoil so that your shots do stay on target is going to leave you with a fairly accurate gun, and it can kill people fairly well. I don't think I do many mid-range shots in this gameplay, but when engaging people at mid-range, it's pretty hard. You essentially have to like single tap fire it if you want any sort of accuracy at range, just because of how the recoil is. At least from my experience, that's how I manage it. But I mean, for the most part, if you're just running around hip firing with it, it's gonna work out extremely well. I mean, the hip fire on it's pretty good. I mean, keeping it on target up close is not a very hard thing to do. And right here, this is probably a bit too far to be hip firing. But, I mean, to, like, hold it down and spray. But, if you just, like, kind of fire off 3 shots or so, it's gonna work out pretty good. And the little stutter you saw there is something that's been happening lately. I have no idea why. It's with the latest patch. I've been having these random stutters. You see it a couple times throughout this gameplay. It's really annoying. I have no idea why it's there, but, it gets me killed a lot. But I don't think it got me killed in this gameplay at all, so that's okay. But pretty much just like hip firing with the Bullpup is actually a fairly good strategy. Like here, I'll come up right behind this guy and just unload, and the shots are all really accurate. I mean, I'd say it's kind of like a more recoilish, more damaging SMG, because that's kind of the way it feels. I don't have many attachments on it, because a lot of the attachments do take away its speed, and they don't add as much accuracy as I would like them to add. So I just changed up the barrel a bit. I forget which one I put on, but it's just so it was a bit more accurate, and it took down quite a bit of speed, which was not really that great. But I think just so I could, just so I can like hip fire a bit better, have hip fire more accurately, I should say, is why I put on that, at least changed up the barrel a bit, just so it was that bit more accurate. But I think keeping speed with the bullet assault rifle is probably your best bet in terms of using it at least effectively, because with the recoil, you're not going to be able to kill people out of mid-range. It's really, really insane if you're going to try and control that. So just sticking up close range, obviously, if you come up across pretty much anything but an SMG and a heavy assault rifle, you're pretty good. You have pretty good odds in winning the fight. I mean, just with the heavy assault rifle, it's just too easy to control. So if you're going head up against a person who can aim with the heavy assault rifle, you are pretty much going to lose. It's pretty hard to beat out the heavy assault rifle in terms of an accuracy battle. So, and in terms of the SMG, obviously, the SMG kind of spits out bullets. But with the SMG, the spray, its hipfire spray is not as accurate, at least from what I've experienced. It's not as accurate as the Bullpup assault rifle. So if you have a person that can aim with the Bullpup assault rifle versus a person who's just spraying with the SMG, if you're using the Bullpup assault rifle, you have fairly good odds of winning in that situation. So I mean, it's not impossible to face off with SMGs. And I think that's pretty good. It's just, like I said before, it's just like a slightly more range-ish, slightly more damaging SMG. And that's how you want to play it, essentially. Probably if you were to lower the damage, or if you were to go with a lower recoil build, I don't think it would help it that much, just because the initial recoil value it's insanely high. And just the way it kind of patterns out is not really worth it, and trying to get the recoil under management. You're better off having the higher damage so that you can kill people faster at close range, and just work on getting up close towards people and not even having to worry about ADS. If you could just get your hipfire control down right and know how it reacts and stuff like that, you'll do fairly well when it comes to killing people. I mean, for the most part, I'm just hip firing. I don't really aim, or I don't really ADS in terms of trying to keep my targets, only if they're a little bit ways away, or like extremely up close and just like having it dead on with them is where I ADS, or if in that situation where they're just a little bit out, where the hip fire probably isn't the best idea. Because it is a bit easier to control in ADS, but the drop off there is that the shots do feel a bit more hefty in terms of the recoil. So up close, spray, a little bit ways away, you gotta ADS and shoot. And for some reason, I noticed I get so many headshots with this gun. I have no idea why, but it just seems like pretty much almost every other shot is a headshot. And I guess that's because of the recoil. If you just aim at their chest and you start spraying and pulling down to the side, it's gonna just jump up a bit. So you'll hit them in their chest a couple times, and then you'll probably knock their head off. And that's good for damage. So that works out there fairly well. At least I think it works out fairly well. In terms of weapon tags you can put on this, I think putting on something to reduce the recoil is probably your best bet. Either reducing the recoil or making it a bit accurate. This is probably the best thing to do. I believe the FPS guru tag I have on right now, I think that increases range. I'm not too sure though. But for the most part, it works out pretty well. And I don't know, it's a strange gun. Just the way it plays. It's sometimes fairly inconsistent, but when it does kind of work, it works really, really well. So I don't know why. It's a little strange, the gun. It's like, it's a beast to control, but if you can control it, you can do some pretty good damage, at least up close. I've seen, I think, only one person I've run into that really knows how to use the Bullpup assault rifle, and even then, it's like pretty easy to counteract. So I mean, if you can become good with the Bullpup assault rifle, it could, I don't know, it could turn out pretty good for you. But yeah, that's gonna do it for me. Final score was 27-4, not half bad. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I will talk to you guys next time.